Welcome to this super secret surprise holiday edition version of AI Dungeon 2. Yay! Have you ever worn a Santa hat with headphones? Because I don't recommend it at all. It was a lot of work to try to get the headphones to fit over the hat and not a lot of payoff. I've had a lot of comments recommending that I try AI Dungeon 2 again, because there were some big updates that have apparently made the game a little bit, I guess, easier to play. In the past, the game a lot of times would like forget things and you'd really have to like almost force it to tell a story, but now there's been a ton of different updates. I am going to be using the free version of AI Dungeon 2. Right now there's two models. There's the Dragon version, which is the premium version, and then there is, I think it's called the Griffin version, or Giffen version. There's another one that's a free version. That's the one that I'm going to use today. But even the free version got some really big updates because it is running on a different software, and they've made all sorts of updates to the website. So as you can see here on the sidebar, we have all of these cool areas now. We have a worlds area, which I think is cool. It's possible that had it maybe in the past and I didn't know about it. But yeah, I'm exploring it now and it's fun. And there's these two different ones that are actually Christmas themed, which is what inspired me to do a holiday episode. There's Winter Bloom, which looks like it's kind of a Hallmark movie-ish type of scenario. There's like hot chocolate and cozy fireplaces, and it's all very like pretty. It's fantasy themed too, so there's some magic in there and whimsy. And then there's also the Kringle one, which is dark fantasy and looks terrifying. I don't know which one I want to do. I think I'm going to do Winter Bloom, because I've always wanted to be the star of my own Hallmark movie. The world of Winter Bloom. Winter Bloom is a wonderland filled with delicious scents of baking pies, hot chocolate, and fresh evergreen. Year-round, the people celebrate. People dress up in various themed outfits and go to themed stores for themed parties. A lot of themes happening there. People decorate their homes with beautiful lights and candles, and everyone eats great food and plays games with their friends and neighbors. I actually just want to live there. So let's do a quick start for the Winter Bloom world and see how things go. Winter Bloom is a wonderland filled with the delicious scents of baking pies, hot chocolate, and fresh evergreen. I already read that. We're just gonna skip forward. You are Natalie, a female human baker in the city of Ferrara Rocher. We're gonna go with that. You're part of a large family of bakers who make delicious pies and cakes and other desserts for their customers. You spent your whole life learning the family trade, and you've been working in the bakery since you could walk. You love to make people happy, and that's mainly what you do. I love this. I just want to be this girl. This is my life now. We have the command bar down here. They actually have this handy button where you can change it between do or say or story, which I think I had been ignoring the last time I played, which is part of the reason why I had a lot of trouble. So do is a command, say is something that I say out loud to the characters, and story is something that I, as the author, quote unquote, can put in to make an event happen. I'm not going to do that many story commands because I really want to see what the AI is able to come up with as a story. So right now we're going to ignore story and we're just going to do something. I'm going to say, let's do some baking. I'm a baker. Let's bake chocolate chip cookies. Let's just see what happens. You bake chocolate chip cookies. You look around the kitchen for your ingredients and then begin to mix and stir the dough. Soon you have a large pile of delicious goopy dough waiting to be baked. I'm going to throw the dough out because it is not up to my standards.
Bland,
I'll go with Mac tasted.
gloopy, fucking glue.
You look around in disbelief. Baking is apparently not your thing. You toss the dough into the trash, finally deterred from your desire to make cookies for some reason. Later, your mother enters the kitchen. Oh, okay, we got a great scenario brewing here. So I'm from a family of bakers, and baking is not my thing. I just realized, like, I don't want to be a baker. Why would I want to be a baker? I mean, in real life, yes, I would love to be a baker, but no, it's not what I want to do. I have a different path out there for me, and I got to break the news to my parents. So I'm going to say, sorry, Mom, but I don't want to be a baker anymore. I have to follow my own path. You're sorry, but you don't want to be a baker anymore. Your mother looks at you sadly and nods. I understand. It's okay. I love you anyway. You say, I have to leave and find a new dream. You start packing with your bag over your shoulder. Where are you going? I don't know. I have to find a new dream. Your mother approaches you. I love you, Mom. You hug your mother tightly. I love you too, honey. You finish packing everything you need and leave the house. Damn, we're just going for it. I feel like this is the start of a Pokemon game where you leave home and you're ready to go catch Pokemon. So now I'm out on my own. All my life, I thought I was going to be a baker. I thought that that's what I wanted to do. And now I know that it isn't what I want to do. But the problem is, I also don't know what's next. You know, I don't know what else is out there for me in the world. So I think I'm going to do some aimless wandering and just think and reflect a little bit. You know, try and get in touch with like not who I thought I was going to be, but who I really am deep inside. So I'm going to aimlessly wander the cold streets alone. You continue to walk aimlessly. You don't know where you're going. You walk for miles and miles, but find no place that interests you. Suddenly, you begin to feel hungry. I mean, I'm really not that far from home. It's just down the street. I could just pop back and grab a cookie or something. I must have packed food in my bag, so let's make camp and open backpack to grab snack. You sit on the street and open your backpack. You pull out a granola bar and begin to eat it. The campfire seems so far away. You begin to sob uncontrollably. You drop the granola bar to the ground and curl up into a ball. Your mom is gone, and you'll never see her again. Wow, I mean, she is just down the road. I could just walk back. You pack up camp and continue to wander. You stand up and look around. You're not sleepy, but it's difficult to stay awake. Mitch, a friend from 5th grade who now goes to summer camp, has been trying to contact you for weeks. Ooh, okay. So, following Hallmark movie logic, this is my friend from childhood. And I've just given up my lifelong dream of being a baker, and now I'm going to meet my friend from childhood again. And I think it's kind of ironic that we're telling a winter story, but he is my friend who goes to summer camp, even though this is supposed to be a year-long winter world, but that's okay. You call Mitch. Mitch is so kind and would never ignore your calls. He picks up after 2 rings. Hello? You say, Hi, Mitch. I just quit being a baker and now I don't know what to do with my life. Please help me. Mitch pauses for a moment. Ha! I knew it. I knew you couldn't stay there. So what happened? I just don't like making desserts. I need a new passion in life. Any ideas? You know, Mitch knows me better than anyone since I've known him from 5th grade and also summer camp. So if anybody's going to be able to tell me what to do, it's Mitch. Mitch is quiet for a moment. Do you like kitties? You take a deep breath. Okay, I'll bite. What happened? Do you have a lot of kittens up for adoption? Mitch is quiet for a moment. What I like about Mitch is very reflective. You know, like he never just answers right away. Like he responds, he doesn't react. He's just quiet, he thinks about it, and then he gives me a very thoughtful response. I really appreciate Mitch as a person. I have a list of them. But you have to come to the shelter. You can't just go online and look up kitties. That's good advice. So that's what I'm gonna do. Like maybe that's my passion, is rescuing cats. In real life, that is my passion, as you can see by the giant cat tree behind me. You go to the shelter and adopt a kitten. So where's the shelter? Mitch tells you the address and hangs up. You walk into the shelter pretending to be interested in the fish tank. Yeah, I'm going to disguise my interest in a kitten by pretending that I'm really there for a fish. A woman walks up to you. She has sad eyes and her brown hair is cut very short. She smiles at you warmly. Why is she so sad? You say, Why are you so sad? The woman looks surprised. I'm sorry, I thought you understood. My name is Dawn, and it's my job to make sure every animal here feels loved. They're all so sweet. Oh, so Dawn is sad because she's sad for the animals because they aren't getting adopted. Maybe this is my path in life. You say, can I get a job here? I'd like to help rescue animals too. Dawn nods. Great! This is perfect job interview. I wish it worked like that in real life. You just walk into a place and you're like, hey, can I get a job here? And they just go, all right, so now I'm working for the animal shelter. I think that this could be my new purpose in life. Maybe I wasn't meant to be a baker. Maybe I was meant to help rescue animals and get them homes in time for the holiday. You start your first day working at the animal shelter. You're super nervous on your first day, but Dawn gives you some tips on what to do. Okay, what are my tips, Dawn? Well, when a potential pet or rescue comes in our shelter, I ask them a series of standard questions. Out of all the questions we ask, my personal favorite is, what is your backstory? That's what I'm going to start asking people. Like when I first meet someone, I'm just going to come up to them and be like, what is your backstory? Like, just tell me everything about who you are and what you've done. I want to know. Okay, so I think I actually am going to try to use the story command. So let's have a man walks in to adopt a pet. So this is going to be my first story command. And I'm going to have somebody come in to adopt a pet. I'm going to interview them and make sure that they are worthy of my Christmas cats. A man walks in to adopt a pet. Hi, Dawn. I'd like to adopt a pet. Sure, Jerry. What's your backstory? He pauses. Oh my god, Jerry! I had a Jerry last time when I was playing AI Dungeon. That was my character's Jerry. I'm gonna say it's a different Jerry though, because we're in a totally different universe. You say, yeah, Jerry, what's your backstory? He clears his throat. He looks nervous and you realize why. You don't have a backstory, do you? He goes to hug Dawn and she slaps his hand away. Jerry, are you okay? He goes to hug Dawn again, but she slaps his face. Backstory, backstory! She whacks him with a newspaper. You say, Jesus, Jerry, give the woman a backstory. She slaps him with the newspaper again. Stop it! I have no backstory. What? I need a backstory to adopt a pet. I don't have one. She sighs. Now I'm realizing that maybe working at the animal shelter is my purpose. Maybe helping people find their backstories is my purpose. I'm like a backstory detective, and I help them find out what their stories are. Sure, let's try that. You say, don't worry, Jerry. I am a backstory detective, and I will help you find a backstory. Oh boy, here we go again. You spend the rest of the day and night searching through old newspapers to look for clues about Jerry's parents. We're switching things up. We are going to try to find Jerry's parents for him. That way he'll know his backstory and he can adopt a kitten in time for Christmas. That's our mission. Let's use the story prompt again. I'm going to say, find a clue about Jerry's parents. I find an article about a fire that tore through an abandoned house, killing 2 children, Jerry's siblings. Okay. So Jerry, we don't know where his parents are. We haven't found that yet. But we do know that there was an article about a fire that had killed his children. No. There was an article about a fire, though, that explains that his siblings had died. I guess he was the only one of the siblings that survived, but we still don't know the whereabouts of the parents. So I think that me and Jerry are going to have to go to the house and look to see if we could find his parents there. You go to the abandoned house with Jerry to find clues about his parents. You knock on the door of the abandoned house. Who's there? You can hear sniffing sounds inside. Abandoned house, what are you doing here? Doesn't sound super abandoned if there's somebody in there. I'm gonna say, open up. I'm a backstory detective. I don't have a badge or anything. Hello? You hear a whimpering sound. You say, are Jerry's parents in there? You hear a growl. Shut up, I'm a back. You hear a whimpering sound. Are you Jerry's parents? You hear a bark. Oh no, Jerry's parents turned into dogs. You open the door and see 2 yellow labs look at you. One is a male and the other is a female. Are you Jerry's parents? The lab shakes its head. Oh, okay, so these aren't Jerry's parents. Have you always been dogs? The lab barks. I can't understand you. I'm a back. The lab growls. Are you back? The lab growls. Can you communicate? These just might be dogs. I don't know. Oh, wait, I wonder, are these Jerry's siblings that we thought died in a fire, but they actually turned into Labradors? You call Dawn and tell her you found out what happened to Jerry's long-lost siblings. At first, Dawn doesn't believe you. You bring the two dogs back to the shelter and Dawn is surprised to see them. I thought they died in the fire. You tell Dawn the story again, and she believes you now. Jerry shows up at the shelter. Jerry's eyes widen. Wait, you found my brothers? You say, your brothers were turned into dogs. You can adopt them now because we know your backstory. You hear barking from outside. I can't wait. Dawn rolls her eyes. Fine, you can take them, just to get out of here and let me go to work. You say, Merry Christmas, Jerry. You give the dogs a treat and walk away with him, leaving Dawn and Jerry with each other. You've saved Dawn from being married to some guy she doesn't love, and it's all thanks to your careful planning. Sure. I guess I did that while I was doing the other things. I think that we did it. We didn't help Jerry turn his brothers back into humans. That's not really my job, though. I'm just a backstory detective. I just found out that that's their backstory. I also work at an animal shelter, and I help animals get adopted, and I also bake. You know what? I think the moral of the story here is that sometimes there's just not one path in life for you. You know, you don't have to dedicate yourself to one single thing. You could do many things. You know, maybe baking is something you like, but maybe also working at an animal shelter and being a backstory detective is something that you like. And you could just do all of those. You don't have to necessarily pick one. And that's just going to be our life now. You know, it's okay for things to not be black and white sometimes. Sometimes you could just live in the gray and just play in the space there and enjoy it. So yeah, that's it. So we're going to wrap this up. You go home and celebrate Christmas with your family. The end. And that is it for this holiday edition of AI Dungeon 2. I enjoyed playing it. I think that the AI definitely remembered things. It had consistent characters that it was remembering throughout the story. And I didn't even really play around with some of the other features that it had. I really do like that they have different worlds that you can focus in. I don't know how much it actually changes what happens in the story, but it did help me get more of the vibe I was looking for. Like, I wanted to do a winter-themed, holiday-themed story, and because I was able to start in a world that was winter-themed and holiday-themed, I was able to just keep that a little bit throughout the story. I definitely think the updates are worth playing. I would like to play it again and explore some of the other worlds. If people have suggestions, leave them down in the comments. But overall, I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you for joining me on this wacky Christmas adventure, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Bye!